Come on in here. Hello. Hi. I had a fantastic weekend. I accomplished everything I set out to accomplish. I like to accomplish things. I accomplished everything I set out to accomplish. Come on in here. Let's work. Let's work. Hi. Let's work. I'm ready today. Happy Monday. How'd y'all Mondays go? You finally got a notification? How's your Monday? How's your Monday? Hey, Snuggles. I know how y'all be hating Mondays, so how's it going? How's it going? I am ready. I gotta upload my sweet potato bake. I made that this morning. I'm fantastic. I got up, I accomplished a bunch of stuff today. Another lady on here giving blood type info. Of course they are. It's catching on. I just hope they're not telling y'all that y'all can be eating off the neutral list. Everyone that I've ever seen just be telling y'all any old thing. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you listen to. Listen, if a person hasn't survived what I've survived, I'll be looking at them with the side eye if they were trying to give me any advice. Just like a doctor. If a doctor hasn't survived anything or cured themselves, why should I listen to them? A doctor don't know what you're going through. If a person is in perfect health, how can he empathize or sympathize with you? Or even know what you're going through? Or even speak from any level of experience? I would rather talk to somebody that has been through what I've gone through and came out on the other side. Because at least that person can encourage me. A person that's never been through anything can't advise you on anything. How they gonna advise you on anything? They ain't got your struggle. They don't have your wherewithal. They don't know. Man, I posted some good shit today. Let's talk about some statistics, shall we? Y'all want to talk about some stuff? Do y'all know that 15,000 people a month die on Medicare from hospital error? You got the recipe book? Good. Share the live, tap the screen. Let's get these numbers up. We're on a mission. Okay? 15,000, nearly 1 million people a year. That's why Dr. Error is the number 3 way of becoming unalive. But what they also are not telling y'all are the people that become disabled. They don't tell you about the people that become disabled due to Dr. Error. Hold on, I got some good shit today. Hold on a minute. Let me show y'all something. Did y'all see the post about the Crisco that I posted this morning? And then most of the people that are dying are 65 years or older on Medicare. So they're just literally getting rid of the older population. So y'all didn't see the post on the Crisco. Do y'all know what Crisco stands for? Who knows what Crisco? Crisco is actually basically an acronym. Who knows what Crisco stands for? The longer you live, the more you know. Anybody have any guesses? Everybody had Crisco in their house, didn't they? Everybody had a can of Crisco. Share the live, tap the screen. If you tap the screen, more people will come. So just tap the screen because people need this information, okay? So the video that I posted this morning, it stands for something. Hi. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb because we're going to get into some shit today. Let's turn this ring thing off too. Crisco stands for crystallized cottonseed oil. All this time you've been frying your food in crystallized cottonseed oil. Let's see what cottonseed oil does in the body. What does cottonseed oil? Da, 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 da. Although cottonseed oil is rich in healthy unsaturated fats, it does contain some saturated fats which may raise your LDL cholesterol and decrease HDL cholesterol in high amounts and consequently increase the risk of heart disease. They say it's safe to consume, so it won't kill you today. Recent research evidence suggests that cottonseed oil may have both direct and indirect anti-inflammatory and antioxidant impacts linked to bioactive components of the clinical trial. Now, here's what's interesting. When Crisco came out in 1910, okay? When Crisco came out in 1910, there was no one to say what Crisco will do in the body, okay? Because up until that point, everyone, it turns out you're type B. Good for you. Aren't you lucky? Okay? So it turns out that in 1910, Crisco was made from petroleum. Now, who knows their history? Who created a petroleum-based anything in the 1900s? What was made from petroleum in the 1900s? Maybe drugs. The prescription drugs were made in 1903 by John D. Rockefeller. Drugs are petroleum based. So let's look at the video. So you don't have to take it from me. You can take it from Dr. Wallach. Those of you that know Dr. Wallach. Oh, this is this guy.
For unheard of in the human diet. But then in 1911, Procter & Gamble announced a new shortening called Crisco, which stands for crystallized cottonseed oil. A couple of years later, in 1913, they released a cookbook called The Story of Crisco, which is essentially what put Crisco on the map. It didn't take long, but after just a few years, nearly every home in America traded their butter and lard for this new hydrogenated cooking oil. Consequently, heart disease began skyrocketing, and unfortunately, due to poorly done science, the traditional fats like butter and lard took the blame. But it gets worse. The American Heart Association was founded in 1924 and was relatively unknown until 1948 when they received a rather generous donation from none other than Procter & Gamble. Then in 1961, Ansel Keys joined the AHA Nutrition Committee And soon thereafter, they released the first official report anywhere in the world recommending a low saturated fat diet and to replace saturated animal fats with corn and soy oil. Even today, the American Heart Association and American Diabetes Association are funded in large part by Big Food and Big Pharma, such as Kellogg's, Campbell's, Pfizer, Pepsi, and Liberty Link soybeans. Do you really believe that the AHA is going to recommend that we avoid the exact foods upon which their paycheck depends? Because it's very difficult to get someone to understand the science when their salary directly depends on them not understanding it. Before 1910, seed oils were virtually unheard of.
If we go and we trace back, oh yeah, people still use Crisco, absolutely, especially in the South. Especially in the South. Okay? If we go back and go down a rabbit hole and see who all of these studies are done by, who all this funding comes from, I'm pretty sure we will find that all of them come from those corporations. All of these corporations are owned by a handful of people, like BlackRock and Vanguard. All of those people, all of those corporations are under just a handful of people. They literally control our food supply. So when these studies come out, just like a study was done, just like if you go to the Arthritis Administration's website, it'll tell you that nightshade vegetables benefit you if you have arthritis. And y'all know damn well nightshade vegetables are not going to help you. They're going to trigger your pain and your inflammation and your painful joints. So we are just, I had a conversation with Jordy a little while ago. Like, my generation, okay, we didn't wear no helmets. I'm Gen X, okay? We did not wear no helmets. We did not wear no kids didn't have no car seats. We were drinking out of the water hose. I asked him, I said, do you think today's kids would drink out of the water hose? He was like, hell no. Back then, we didn't even have bottled water. There was no such thing, right? Kids were sliding around in the back seat of the car just because there were no safety belts. Just, okay? Nothing. We didn't have any of this stuff. I remember riding my bike down a hill that was it was like this. Okay? It's a wonder we're even alive. By today's standards, we probably wouldn't be, right? But think about all of the things that are pushed on us now that are prerequisites, basically. If you get your kid a bike, you got to get your kid a helmet and knee pads and elbow pads. We used to jump in the pool. Do you know how we learned how to swim? Somebody be done throwing us in the deep end of the pool, and we had to figure it out. Okay? But look at how much stuff is literally pushed on us that is mandatory for us to buy now. And then they make laws around it to make us buy them. Y'all cannot sit here and tell me that all of this shit is not crooked. Like, no one was drinking bottled water because bottled water didn't exist. When did regular water get so bad that now corporations get to make bottled water and it's literally mandatory? I don't think I've had sink water in 10 years. But look at how much money these corporations are making by normalizing all of this extra shit. Your kids would not know how to survive today. If y'all kids had to go back in time, they would never survive. Yeah, we had glass pop bottles. Everything was in glass. Now everything is in plastic, and now you got to be concerned about the endocrine disruptors from plastic. What was wrong with the glass? You literally have plastic that interferes with our hormones, disrupts our endocrine system, which is our hormonal system. What was wrong with the glass? You didn't have a whole ocean full of plastic because everybody was using glass. Even milk was in glass back in the day. Then they moved to plastic. Now you got to be concerned about all of the endocrine disruptors in the plastic. Yeah, we used to take the bottles back to be recycled. Ain't nobody recycling plastic like they should be. You got an incentive to take the bottles back. Share the live. Tap the screen. If we don't get these numbers up, I'll start this shit again. There was at least an incentive for us to take the bottles back to get them recycled. How could it cost too much if we were returning the bottles? Think about how much money it costs to clean up the plastic, to get rid of the plastic. Look at the plastic in the ocean. Okay? Everybody back in the day was using cast iron. Then they came up with Teflon. Right? Now Teflon, they done found out gives you cancer and all that other shit. What happened to the cast iron skillets? We used to hand down the cast iron skillets from generation to generation because that's how long the cast iron skillets would last. You can have a cast iron skillet for 100 years. But I guess you sell more if you make pots and pans that die. We got our cast irons. And wasn't nobody dying from cast iron skillets, but they're dying from Teflon. I remember when my generation saw everything go from manual. We saw all of the technology. We went from rotary phones to now we got phones with a bunch of radiation in them. The phones back in the day didn't kill nobody. Now they tell you not to put these up against your face. We had phone booths. What happened to that? Okay. And it put iron in the body. So progressively, it's just getting worse. I never put my phone up to my face. I always have my phone on speakerphone. I don't even use the headphones. I done had three of them and then gave them to all to Jordy. Shit's getting worse. It's not getting better. Okay? And who is it that's suffering? The people. So again, the only thing that we're useful for is consuming. And they sit back and make all the money. And we get sicker and sicker. Let's look at the hospitals for a second. They call it technology, exactly. Let's look at the hospitals for a second. Check this out. Listen to this one.
This came out in 2010. Hospital care fatal for some patients. That's kind of vanilla. Results of Medicare study alarming. Well, that's alarming. Well, the study was actually done by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Inspector General, which is the auditor for Medicare. What they said was that each month, not each year, each month in America, medical doctors kill 15,000 Medicare patients. from simple tests and minor procedures. They kill 15,000 Medicare patients each month. That's 180,000 a year. If you're over age 65 and you knew that commercial airlines killed 180,000 seniors over age 65 every year, you'd say, honey, cancel the airplane flight. I turned 65 yesterday. We're going Amtrak.
From minor tests and routine procedures. How am I going to send it to you, ma'am? You have to go get it off the page like I get it off the page. I ain't starting nothing I ain't going to finish. I'm not sending nobody videos. Go to my page and get it. Okay? What other profession exists where you get to unalive people and get up and go back to work tomorrow? What other profession exists where you can unalive people and go back? At least with cops, they put you on vacation. You got to be on administrative leave, right? The number 3 way of becoming unalive behind heart disease and cancer and the military, that's generally during wartime. This is routine. Every month, 15,000 people are dying preventable deaths from just going to see someone they trust. I would never step foot, listen, and that's what Dr. Wallach says. Using the hospital for trauma, car accidents, and that kind of thing, cool. But just having a doctor, hold on a second. Where's the other one? Hold on, let me see if I got the right. I'll tell y'all about the ones. Oh, I don't think I saved it. There's another one where this guy is talking about, and I've posted his videos before. This was the guy that was talking about how much doctors make when they have diabetes patients. He was saying, you can do exactly what a doctor does. All you gotta do is go buy a stethoscope, go and buy one of those little pen lights. Everything that a doctor does tests your reflexes with a little thing. He knows you have reflexes or you wouldn't have walked into the office. There's nothing to keep you from being your own doctor. So even when people come here and are you a doctor? Why do I need to be a doctor to take care of myself? You see what they make you believe? They make us believe that we have to be credentialed or get some validation from someone, some institution, to be able to even talk about health. That's what he said. He said you can buy a blood pressure cuff. You can go and buy the little test strips for your diabetes. You can go and get the little test strips to see if you got blood in your stool and test for colon cancer. All of that stuff is sold in the pharmacy. So why do you need to go into a doctor's office, pay for a doctor's visit? They run some tests on you that you can go get the stuff from the drugstore yourself. And then they tell you to come back in 2-3 weeks. Just like y'all went and ordered blood tests to find out what your blood type is when you could have just gone on Amazon. You come back in 2 weeks, pay for another doctor visit to find out what you could have found out yourself. Is it that we don't trust ourselves? Is it that we have just been brainwashed into believing that someone is smarter than we are and that they are the authority? Jordan learned how to fix cars and everything else from YouTube. You can learn anything. There's nothing we cannot learn. So when people come on this live and act as if I'm not supposed to know shit about my body and how my body works, hairspray on my eyebrow. I'm not supposed to know how my body works. I've been in it for 54 years. It would be completely ignorant of me not to know how this body works. Shit, I know how my car works. Most of y'all know much more about your car than you know about your own body. Okay? You don't need somebody to tell you that you're healthy. You know whether or not you're healthy. Just like when you're driving your car, you know whether or not your car is sick. Only you, only a person that is driving that car all the time. When I drive my truck, I can tell you that something ain't right. Y'all know that about your car. You also know that about your body. Okay? What you have to start doing is trusting yourself. When you asked your doctor about your blood type, he told you to call the hospital. Did you have surgery at the hospital? Okay? Y'all have to start trusting yourself. If all the doctors disappeared today, what would you do? Some of y'all are just like in the Matrix, the line in the Matrix I will just never forget. Some of us are so hopelessly inured, okay, in the system, meaning we are so dependent upon the system that has been created that we don't know what to do. If the system disappeared, what would you do? Because at the rate we're going, the system may not be around much longer, which I won't mind. I won't even mind at this point, because the system that has been created is not for us. And I'm not talking about no race of people. I'm talking about poor people. I'm talking about working class people. I'm talking about people that are not the 1%. It's not for us. They just want us to be sheep that quietly get up and go to their jobs, buy their products, live in their homes, drive their cars, and just run the machine while they benefit. Okay? So all we can do is take care of ourselves. That's it. Hi. All we can do is take care of ourselves. Because nobody is looking out for us, which means we have to look out for us. Okay? When I went to the doctor and they told me I had sarcoidosis, I said, "What's that?" They said, "We don't really know." Hold up. I thought you were supposed to be so smart. I thought you were supposed to know everything. So I done paid $123,000 for this surgery to find out what I have. You tell me what I have, and then I ask you, what does that mean? What is that? And then you tell me I don't know. Where's that really super smart young lady that was here yesterday in her little graduation outfit? What do you do when your doctor tells you I don't know? You just go see another one? And what if they tell you they don't know? Then what do you do? Okay? I was on my own. I had to figure out what sarcoidosis was. And this was when the internet was still new. This was back in 2006. Now, I had a computer, not a laptop, a computer. Remember when we had big ass computers? Okay? So I had to go and figure this shit out. I had to go buy books on inflammatory diseases. For all those people that's just like, well, how do you know all this? I had to read books to even figure out what an inflammatory disease is, what causes it, how to get rid of it. I had to read. Even when I fell into a depression, when my mom passed away in 1993, in order to get myself out of the depression and not to get on the drugs that just about everybody in my family was on, Zoloft and Xanax. Zoloft was really the one that everybody was on. Okay? And I was depressed for a couple of years. You know how you just become a functional depressive? And I wanted to pull myself out of it. I had to go to a health food store. And I sat in that health food store for hours reading. Because they had tables there where you could sit down and read. And I had books spread out on the table. I was there from probably noon till they closed at 9 o'clock. And then I left with St. John's wort. And 7 days later, I was out of my funk. So there's never been a time that I did not cure myself. Would I ever want to be a doctor? Absolutely not. Because if that profession requires me to lie to people and to withhold information from people and to mislead people and to kill people, I don't want to do that. And just about everybody in my family was a nurse. Mom, aunts, cousins. Even Jordy went to pharmacy school. That's what Jordan went to school for. So it does not take you going to some school and paying all that money, because the books are out there. Okay? If you want to learn something, we live in an age of information. If you want to know something, you can find out. Okay? We ready to learn? Are we ready to learn some stuff today? So we need to share the live with 15 people and tap the screen, or I'm going to start this live over so we can get these numbers up. Hi, David. I will restart it. Before we even get into it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. You're welcome. I'm going to do it right now. Don't go nowhere. Come right back.